Bada boom. Just want to show you guys a few new pickups before I continue on with part 5 of my video. This is The Exorcist from Cinemuseum. And it contains a couple of steel books. This one is sealed. And I unsealed the other one. Nice 3D effect there. That's the back. And the actual steelbook. Nice matte finish. It's got this German rating sticker on it, but it's actually an Italian release. And the rigid box, which opens up like this. That's the inside. This velvet material there. And it's got some cards and a booklet. The booklet is in English. Mostly a photo book. Yeah, so Cinemuseum from Italy. They are a premium steelbook label. And I quite like them. Pretty creepy image there. And I also picked up Castle Freak. This is a UK release from 101 Films. It's got a booklet. It's a Blu-ray, Region B Blu-ray. It's a 1995 full moon feature, directed by Stuart Gordon. I do enjoy this one quite a bit. I'm not a big full moon fan. I like some of their stuff, but most of their output I'm not a big fan of. Castle Freak from 101 Films. Also picked up this new film, Last Breath. It's supposed to be an underwater thriller. It's got Woody Harrelson in it, and it is just a Blu-ray. For newer films, I only need the Blu-ray version. I don't need new movies in 4K, to be more specific. Most of this stuff is shot digitally, and Blu-ray is perfectly fine for that format, and I'm looking forward to watching that today, actually. All right, so we're doing part 5 of my complete collection video. We last left off at the Kino Scorpion titles. I'll climb up here on my step stool. Yeah, we last left off here with Burn Witch Burn. This is a Scorpion release that was distributed by Kino, and as I explained in my last video, all of these here are Scorpion titles that Kino distributed. They had some kind of a deal towards the end of that line's life. Rest in peace, Walter Olson, who ran that label. Lots of good titles there. The Passage is my favorite. Great film, and there's a lot of good stuff in there. So yeah, so we continue on with the Kingdom trilogy from Mubi. Sorry about all the dust. This is a Swedish series. Which I have not seen yet. This is the Kingsman collection. This is an old Best Buy release. Nice hard box. And they are all in 4K. I do make exceptions sometimes with the newer films. Karate Kid collection. All three films are in 4K. This is the 100th year anniversary edition. Next up is Killing Fields. This is King Solomon's Mines. Kinjite, Forbidden Subjects. The Keeping Room. Knowing, an Alex Proyas film. This is the Australian Steelbook edition. K-19. Kill Switch. Night and Day. Crawl. This was just announced for 4K. Sony is doing the 4K. This is an old Mill Creek Blu-ray. That looks all right, but it is coming on 4K, and I will pre-order it. Knives Out. I love Where Eagles Dare. Great film with Clint Eastwood there. Great World War II film. Kelly's Heroes, I don't think I've seen. Maybe I did see it, but I don't recall much about it. But Where Eagles Dare is excellent, and hopefully it'll be reissued on 4K at some point. This is a double feature there. 2 discs. I've got a bit of a Kill Bill collection here. This is Kill Bill 1. It's a steelbook. And it's got this 3D lenticular O-ring, which is pretty nice. This is from Nova Media. And I've got volume 2. Again from Nova Media. Nice high gloss. These are Blu-rays. From Lionsgate Limited, here's volume 1. And volume 2. I did just order the Blockbuster box sets, Whole Bloody Affair slipcases for these two. Here's Kingdom of Heaven, the recently released 4K by Disney. From Treasured Films, this is King of the Ants, a Stuart Gordon film. It's Region B Blu-ray. King Kong 33 on Blu-ray. Nice digibook edition there. King Kong 76, released by Paramount in steelbook form. I really like the longer cut of this film. It's about 3 hours plus. Here's Peter Jackson's King Kong remake, which I really enjoyed quite a bit. This is a Blu-ray, I think. Oh, no, never mind, it's 4K. King Kong, 2005, excellent film. And I've got the Skull Island on 4K. With Sam Jackson. Here's Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan movie. 4K. Here's Kiss of the Dragon, a Jet Li film from Fox Studios. And here is Kickboxer, 4K from Lionsgate. This is a steelbook. Kickboxer on 4K, classic 80s martial arts. All right, I'm gonna climb down for this segment. All right, so down here we've got The Lost Boys. The Last Hunter by Antonio Margheriti. It's a war film, Italian war film. It's just a Blu-ray in there. Antonio Margheriti. Here's one version of Leon the Professional. This is an import from South Korea. This is just a Blu-ray. It's just a Blu-ray. And here's another import of the film. These are steelbooks. Nice edition. Put that back on the shelf. All right, so next to that is the original Let Me In. Actually, this is the remake. I'm sorry. This is just the remake of Let the Right One In. This edition is an import from South Korea. It's just a Blu-ray. That's Chloe. Is that Chloe or Zoe? Chloe Moritz. Yeah, I did like this one. Dare I say, I like this one better than the original. Let Me In. Got the Lethal Weapon collection, which is soon to be extinct. I just got the original on 4K. This is the UK edition. All 4 films. London Has Fallen with Gerard Butler. There's Logan's Run, a UK import edition. This is a Blu-ray. This is the a Warner Premiere Collection line. Stallone in Lockup. The Lone Ranger. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. Looper from Mondo. Mondo is now no longer existing, but this is one of their better releases. Great movie. Legends of the Fall on 4K. Legend of Bogey Creek. Life of Pi. Lost City. Here's a Lucio Fulci film. This is from Germany, if I'm not, no, France. It's a French release. My bad. Here's a modern slasher, released by Anchor Bay. The Last Island, from Cult Epics. Lurking Fear. Here's a DVD, The Last Voyage, 1960 disaster film with Dorothy Malone. Here's The Lighthouse, a UK horror film from 1999, aka Dead of Night. The TV movie follow-up to Rosemary's Baby. Here's Look What's Happened to Rosemary's Baby. This is a manufactured on-demand DVD. Here's La Llorona with Spanish audio. Legend of Billie Jean. Mill Creek. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Flies, the remake, sorry. Last Days on Mars. La Femme Nikita. Schwarzenegger and The Last Stand. This is another import. Lights Out, a recent horror film. Lincoln, great movie. Little Nikita. Here's Lucas. Leaving Las Vegas. Great movie. Last Voyage of the Demeter on Blu-ray. I enjoyed this one, but I don't need it. I don't need the 4K version. Here's an older film, Lady from Shanghai on 4K, released by Sony. Lost City of Z. If I'm not mistaken, this was one of the first films produced by Amazon. Here's a Chilean slasher, The Last Matinee. Pretty good. Here's The Last Slumber Party from AGFA. And Labyrinth. This had a clear slipcover on it, but I think I either threw it away or lost it somewhere. Here's Life. A film called Lord Jim with Peter O'Toole. This is a French import. Big beefy edition of the book. And here's my Lethal Weapon set. This is the UK edition. Take all this crap out of here. Melancholia. 2011 sci-fi drama by Lars von Trier. This edition is from South Korea, from a company called Plain Archive. It's among one of my favorite editions of the film. It is just a Blu-ray. Beautiful film and a beautiful edition. Melancholia. The Maze Runner trilogy, all on Steelbook. That's the first one. The second film, Scorch Trials. Scorch. Pretty standard Steelbook, but I do like the slip. Very good. And the third film, the second film is my favorite. The third film is all right, but here's the third film, Maze Runner Death Cure. All of these are pretty basic Steelbooks, not the best. All right, so now we got my MVD collection, starting with Cutting Class on 4K. That's Ghoulies 4K. Ghoulies 2 on Blu-ray. I don't need the 4K of that. Last American Version. There's Lionheart. Liar's Moon. Final Justice. Split Second. Joysticks. Mind Games. There's Mikey. This one is one of my favorite all-time horror flicks, Mortuary, with Bill Paxton. Classic poster. Yeah, hoping this one makes it to Blu-ray, but I don't have a whole lot of hopes for that one. But to 4K. The Blu-ray does look great, though. Black Eagle. Van Damme, the original Nemesis, and the parts 2, 3, and 4 triple feature. House on Sorority Row, favorite slasher of mine. Mean Guns, Ski Patrol, Sabotage, another favorite of mine, The Dark, 1979. I love that artwork there. Double Impact. Another version of One Dark Night. This has the VHS the VHS artwork. This was released on video by Thorn Emmy. That aims to recreate that. One Dark Night. At one point, this was scheduled for 4K. They announced a 4K of this, but they announced it prematurely. It turns out that they couldn't find a suitable print to use, so they had to backtrack. It was disappointing, but what can you do, right? If you don't have the materials to use, then you can't make a 4K. You could use a print, if you have a really good one in good shape, but apparently one does not exist. Here's a Denzel Washington flick, Out of Time, set in Miami, very good. That's Men of War, Dolph Lundgren. Don't know much about this one. This is Killzone. Yeah, but it looks kind of fun. I haven't seen it yet. Directed by David Pryor. And that concludes my MVD section. And next to that is a selection of Mill Creek titles with slips. This one is Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer. Gorillas in the Mist. This one doesn't look too good. They really need to go back and do another, a better scan of that one. It's a good film. Casual Sex. Loving all the slips, by the way. I love this comedy. This is Like Father, Like Son. It's one of those comedies where you just can't, you can't stop laughing. It's so funny, in my opinion. This is Renegades. We've got Replacement Killers. Cyndi Lauper in Vibes. Loving the VHS style artwork. White Line Fever. Hard Bodies. I could be wrong, but I think I have Hard Bodies 2 on DVD in here as well. Yep. Yes, I do. Hard Bodies 2 only made it to DVD, and it was released by Anchor Bay. Back in the day. Here's Sheena, Tanya Roberts. Silent Rage. Chuck Norris film. The New Kids. Side Out. Marlon Brando in parodying his role in The Godfather in The Freshman here with Matthew Broderick. Here's No Mercy. And last in the Mill Creek line is The Fan. Now, I should mention that this Mill Creek line is just a slipcover line. I do have other Mill Creek titles. But these are just the slipcover ones. All right, let me grab my chair for this segment right down here. This one I have to sit for. Okay, so we're gonna now take a look at my Mondo Macabro collection. It's I mean, I've seen bigger collections, but I think this is a sizable number of titles here. Let's see, Queens of Evil. Most of these I am not familiar with. Full disclosure, I buy a lot of this stuff blind, as blind buys. This one's a 1970 film. Looks like it's a French-Italian co-production. I don't know much about it. Directed by Tonino Cervi. Yeah, so I don't know much about it. But this edition is pretty stacked. It's got a bunch of cards, a nice booklet, Le Regine. Next up is Perversion Story. This is a Lucio Fulci film. Some of this artwork may not be safe for work or other certain audiences. Here's Dr. Caligari, 4K, I believe. Yep, 4K. The Audible Sexy Vampire in kind of a pinkish slipcover. Audible, no H. I don't think that's a typo. Yeah, I really like Mondo's art. Hand-drawn art. Here's Dr. Jekyll and the werewolf. Whoops, can't show that. That's a 4K. Right? Cannot show that. This next one is a selection of short films. It's called Secrets and Mysteries, films by Pedro Olia. I don't normally buy these types of movies blindly, but this was part of a bundle that I grabbed. And who knows, they might be good films, but yeah, I don't really buy this type of film as blind buys. Actually, I don't buy the majority of these as blind buys. Here's a French film called Death Squad. This one sold out pretty quick. All right, now we got the red case editions. This is a Greek film, Dangerous Cargo. Who Can Kill a Child? Blood Spattered Bride. Blood Ceremony. The Lady Kills and Pervertissima, two features. Panic Beats. Hiroku the Goblin. In the Folds of the Flesh. Don't Deliver Us from Evil. Suddenly in the Dark. The Fox with a Velvet Tail. The Witch's Mountain. Hotel Fear. Hunting Ground. The Other Side of the Mirror. Succubus. Love Brides of the Blood Mummy. The Frenchman's Garden. Sins of the Flesh. Special Silencers. Emmanuel in America. This could be also in the Severance set. I'm not sure. The Devil's Nightmare. The Killer of Dolls. The Laughing Woman. Beast and the Magic Sword. The Killer is Not Alone. Najalo. Designated Victim. It's Nothing, Mama. It's Just a Game. Bloodlust. Here's the Bushwhacker in a weird orange artwork. Human Animals. Inquisition, the Spanish film. Night of the Executioner. Symptoms. The Fan. The Broken Mirror. Devil Incarnate. Ideal Place in the Sun. An Ideal Place to Kill. Howl of the Devil. School of Death. Silip. Daughters of Eve. Satanical Pandemonium. That's Woman Chasing the Butterfly of Death. And back there is Macabre. Yeah, Mondo Macabro collection. Alrighty, so let's go with Midnight Express. Mutiny on the Bounty. There's 62 film. I do enjoy this one quite a bit. My Mission Impossible collection. That's the first film. That's part 2, 3. Here's a metal pack edition of the fourth film, Ghost Protocol. I think these were Walmart exclusives. Not sure. That's Rogue Nation. Fallout, and Dead Reckoning. This is Midway. Pretty decent film, based on real events. Cool edition there of Midway. Here's Mad Max. This is a UK edition, rigid hardbox. Road Warrior. Beyond Thunderdome. These are stickers, they come off. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Here's Mad Max Fury Road. Pretty deep 3D effect there. Awesome edition of Fury Road. And finally, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. All right, moving on. We've got a metal pack of Minority Report, Tom Cruise film. Directed by Steven Spielberg. Moon with Sam Rockwell. Nice edition from South Korea. Blu-ray edition. Actually, this is a 4K in there. A lot of these were Blu-ray editions that I imported. And then I just, when the 4K came out, I would just swap the discs. Here is Men in Black, a trilogy. Each film gets its own digipack. Just nothing in the back there. Man of Steel, I did enjoy that one. Target exclusive, I think. I'm not sure. Maltese Falcon. The Meg 1 and 2. Les Miserables. Man on Fire. Mission to Mars. The Mist on 4K. Here's a cheesy sci-fi movie, Moonfall. Million Dollar Baby, Blu-ray. Machete. Very nice. And the sequel, Machete Kills. This is a French steelbook. Love these throwbacks to the 80s one-man army action movies. Both of these are pretty enjoyable. Ms. 45. Messenger of Death. Malcolm X, which I admit I have not watched yet. Never seen the film. The McPherson tape. Found footage movie released by one of Vinegar Syndrome's partner labels, ACFA. Moontrap. Here's McHugh, a John Wayne cop movie. Milena. This is Milena from who released this? I think this is a South Korean company. They do these really nice slip box editions of Blu-rays. And I wish these would come out on 4K. I mean, this movie was it's really good. By Giuseppe Tornatore, the guy who directed one of my all-time favorites, Cinema Paradiso. Back there is Messiah of Evil, the released by Radiance Films. And nice rigid box. This one is just a Blu-ray. I don't think they do a lot of 4Ks, these guys. They've only been around a couple of years, and most of their output are Blu-rays. This particular film, I don't know. It's got missing elements, so they can't really do a 4K of it. So, but the Blu-ray looks good for what it is. It's, you know, they did the best they could. Looks pretty good. Very nice edition of the film from Radiance Films. In the UK, I think they may also have a US arm. I'll take care of that later. All right, here is The Matrix. Mannequin 1 and 2. By the way, I only need the first Matrix. I don't need the other 3 films. Just want the first one. Messenger of Death. Monsters. I think I have. There are 2 movies. This might be the sequel, but I do have them both. Alrighty, so continuing on, way down here, this is Murder on the Orient Express on 4K. What's that? This is Mortal Engines, My Girl 1 and 2. This is Magic, 1978. A film with Anthony Hopkins. Great movie. Mrs. Doubtfire. It's an Italian movie called Mondo Macabro, released by Kino. I don't know much about it, but the trailer caught my attention, and I made a blind buy, and hopefully it's good. The classic 90s Money Train with J-Lo, Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes. Here's The Mummy with Tom Cruise. I did like this one. It's all right. Weird to see Tom Cruise in a horror movie. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't. Here is The Martian. Here's Men Behind the Sun Part 1 by Massacre Video. These are extreme horror films. I think they're shot documentary style. Laboratory of the Devil, the first sequel. And the third film, A Narrow Escape. Here's a media book of Miami Vice. This should be in my media book section. I somehow missed this one. Set that aside. Let's see. Miss Bala, the American remake with Gina Rodriguez. Good movie. This one is a bit of a conundrum. See, I sat down to watch this one. This is a Finnish, I think, from Finland. A kind of a post-apocalyptic movie. I sat down to watch it. I wasn't really getting into it, but I have no intention of giving up on it. It's called Morgan Road, a film by Anders Hultgren, who directed a film called Dawn. Yeah, Morgan Road. It's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic, but because everything in the back is... Well, actually, this is an English release. I'm going to try and watch it at some point. Yeah, very interesting movies that I should really watch. I buy a lot of movies blindly and put them on the shelf and never watch them, but I gotta fix that. Here's The Mechanic, the remake with Jason Statham. Canadian release here. And the sequel, which was also good. Mimic, director's cut. Here's a German edition of The Money Pit, funny comedy with Tom Hanks and Shelley Long. Munich, good movie. Here's Night of the Scorpion, a jolly by Full Moon, if I'm not mistaken. No, not Full Moon. Whoever this is, it doesn't even say. The Night Flyer, great film. This is a DVD. Here's a Mill Creek double feature, Nightwing and Shadow of the Hawk. Naked Gun Trilogy. Nice Beaver. This one's a UK import. This is National Lampoon's Vacation. The moment I saw this art, I said, yep, gotta have it. Spectacular artwork. And this, I believe it's a 4K. Yeah, it's a 4K, and it looks really good. As Warner titles go, it looks really, really good. That's the 4K art, the standard art. And these always come with a Blu-ray edition. Pretty epic and misleading artwork, but I love it. European Vacation. Christmas Vacation. And the worst of the bunch, Vegas Vacation. These were all these were all in a UK collection box set. I separated them. For some reason, I separated them because the first film was reissued on 4K, and I didn't want, I wanted to have them separate. Here's Ninth Gate, a Polanski film with Johnny Depp. Newly Deads. That's Nobody. Natural Born Killers. I'm not a big fan of that one. Of this film, which is why I never did upgrade to 4K. This is actually, by the way, this is one of those weird digipacks, like magnetic digipacks that Warner came out with a few years ago. Diamond Lux, I think they called these. Yeah, very nice edition of a film that's pretty hard to sit through. Here's New Jack City, classic 90s. No Escape with Ray Liotta. This film was missing in action on physical media for a very long time, and finally, this company, Unearthed Classics, released the film on Blu-ray, and it looks pretty good. No sign of a 4K that I know about. That's Not Without My Daughter with Sally Field. Naked Girl Murdered in the Park, Jolly by Full Moon. Nightwish, another Unearthed Classics film. This is another 80s horror flick, which is pretty good. Nightwish. Night Game. Nowhere to Run. Here's Noah, the retelling of the Ark story by what's the guy's name? I forgot his name. Here's The Nun, the first Nun film on 4K. I enjoyed that one. And the sequel on Steelbook. This is an Italian Steelbook. Italian. Here is Night of Death. It's a French release. It's a quirky horror film. Very, very quirky horror film. Pretty good. Night of Death in digipack form. From La Cat, the Smoking Cat. La Cat de Fume. Here is National Treasure. Great, very good movie. Very enjoyable. Fix all this stuff. National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. Necronomicon. This is a German release, I think. Here's Nicolas Cage in Next. And a film called Natalie, Escape from Hell. Nathalie. And the bottom shelf. The bottom shelf is always the hardest. The Northman. weird movie. From the guy who made The Lighthouse and Nosferatu. North by Northwest, the collector's box set version. Nightmare on Elm Street set. There's Nosferatu again. That's Nick of Time. Korean film called Natural City. It's sci-fi. The Negotiator. Down there. This is Night of the Big Heat. A UK movie. 60s. There's Office Space. DVD of Oblivion, the 90s sci-fi cult classic. The year 3031. Wow, it's way up there. Orgy of the Damned, or of the Dead. Don't know what this is. Oh, it's a Paul Naschy film. Cool. Full Moon. Here's Oblivion. The other one, the Tom Cruise sci-fi movie. Gorgeous release. Very nice edition from Everything Blue, a now defunct boutique label. The sequel to London Has Fallen. Here's Olympus Has Fallen. My least favorite Tarantino flick. It's good, but it's not as good as Kill Bill, I would say, or Pulp Fiction. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The Orphanage, Guillermo del Toro. Actually, he didn't make this one, but he presents it, and it's okay. It's a supernatural horror flick. Not half bad. The Orphanage. Here's one I'm hoping hits 4K at some point. Outland with Sean Connery. It's 1981. Is it Peter Hyams? Yep, Peter Hyams film from 1981. Very enjoyable. Space Western. Outland. This one was hard to get. I had to import that one. This is Open Range. A very good Western from the 2000s. Early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. It is a Blu-ray from 101 Films. Very good Western. Very good modern contemporary Western. That's Out for Justice. Very good Seagal flick. That's Outbreak. Down here is a film called Overlord. Once Upon a Time in America. The Sergio Leone film Gangster epic from 1985, I believe. Next to that is Once Upon a Time in the West, the UK edition, I think. 55th anniversary edition. Yeah, UK. And I also have the Italian release from 4K Cult. Charlton Heston in the Omega Man, which was remade as I Am Legend with Will Smith. Open Your Eyes. A fascinating film. Highly recommended. Film from Spain, by the way, with Penelope Cruz. Very nice edition. Open Your Eyes. I got the steelbook version of Old, the M. Night Shyamalan movie, which I thought was very good. Very nice concept. Got a little dent there, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Great concept. Highly entertaining, in my opinion. Bob Marley flick, One Love on 4K. I went with the Walmart digibook version of Oppenheimer. Great movie. And it's one of those magnetic Diamond Lux type of cases here. Epic film. Deserving of all of the Oscars it got. Christopher Nolan. He the man. This is Seagal in On Deadly Ground. This is a gray market release because this film is not available on Blu-ray in anywhere in the world except for Spain. But it does look good, and I'm glad to have that. Here's a double feature, Open Water 1 and 2. A couple of movies that I did enjoy quite a bit. Here's Oz, the Great and Powerful. This is a Chinese edition. Let's see, that slips out like that, or yeah. It's a top loader. That's the first. Yeah, here's the beautiful steelbook. I did enjoy this one pretty much. Some art cards. Yeah, so this one's good. Nice addition of a good film. I did enjoy it. The Great and Powerful Oz. The Outlaw Josie Wales. The First Omen. The Ocean's Trilogy. one of my favorite Bonds on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Here's a UK import. This is the Police Academy complete collection. 7 movies in this franchise? I forgot that. It's a lot of movies. All right, next to that is Planet of the Vampires. Another Radiance Films set. Mario Bava, a Mario Bava film. And last one on this shelf, bottom shelf, is a DVD collector's box, a collector's edition of the Poseidon Adventure. Back when Fox was doing really nice special editions of their classics. This is a DVD in here. Actually, it might be a Blu-ray. Hang on, let me just double check. This is a DVD set that contains a Blu-ray. Nice artwork. Yeah, that's the Blu-ray. And oh, I forgot I had that. Beyond the Poseidon Adventure, the sequel released by Warner. I made my own combo pack, and I assume these are the extras. So I got the Blu-ray on here, and the sequel on DVD, some cards. Chapter leaflet there. Yeah, so this is a very nice edition of the Poseidon Adventure. One of my favorite one of my favorite disaster films of all time, with great artwork and a nice little case. Okay, that was the last one on this shelf. The video is running now into the hour mark, so I'm gonna stop it here, and hope to see you guys in part 6. Part 6 will pick up at my Paramount Presents line here. My Paramount Presents line way up there. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.